Woo! Everyone, welcome all of you, 96,000 and counting star seeds, light workers and wanderers from all over the world to this session. And in today's session, I have basically, just asked the questions which many of you had wanted to know, primarily about how can we activate our dormant DNA. And oh boy, this session is amazing. Okay, let me just tell you this much, that this session, I believe, is like one of the sessions which will change your life. Okay, it not only made me feel really happy and excited to share it with you, but also there is some exciting news coming up, okay, which I think you will enjoy. Basically in the session they have explained about, firstly, how can we activate our dormant DNA. Now, many of you know that scientists say that we only have 2% of our DNA activated. So what about the 98%, right? So that has also been discussed. And also what they have said is, when you activate your DNA, okay, Metatron describes 3 methods, I believe, which we can use to activate our dormant DNA. And when you do that, you'll have abilities which may be beyond imaginable, okay, beyond your imagination. You will be able to do things, all right? So this is discussed in the session. And the other thing that I've asked is about the science of karma, okay, like how does karma actually work, right? Because we know that karma, everyone is talking about karma. If you do good, then good thing happens. If you do bad, then bad thing happens. But how does it work? So in this session, Metatron has described in a manner which may be considered as a scientific way, wherein you will understand how it actually is working. And that is beautiful. I just want to say, thank you to all of you for joining in this session. And finally, towards the end of the session, Metatron talks about, something amazing, like the second coming of Dolores canon, which is amazing, right? And he talks about, Metatron talks about, why it is happening and when it will happen. So of course, I hope you'll enjoy the session. And before I start the session, I want to say a big thank you to all of you who have who are joining me on the Patreon, because I am holding a meditation on the 30th of October. Okay, we need to meditate ourselves, we need to raise our consciousness, we need to protect the planet. So if you want to do it with me, you can join on the Patreon. The link is on the description. And also thank you so much for liking the video, as it helps to reach out to other star seeds at this time. With that being said, enjoy, my friends.
I am Metatron Magnetic Consciousness, connected through the divine grid programmer's consciousness to this channel, and I, Metatron, shall, before answering the questions which may be found in this instrument's mind, must warn that each individualized love-light child of the universal divine grid programmer has to use inner discernment when listening to thought forms emerging from this communication. Furthermore, I, as Metatron, would like to state that there are many queries which shall now be answered, and these queries shall aid those who shall require such types of assistance at this time to awaken their full activation of the so-called DNA by your people, to allow the activation of the dormant potential which lie hidden beneath each individualized portion of beingness of the universal divine grid programmer. The first question refers to how can the dormant DNA be activated. I, as Metatron, must state that all of you universal light grid programmers have within yourself at this moment, there is only 2% of your DNA potential which has activated. Consider yourself to be a type of container of 100% potential of the DNA. These DNA are able to awaken your spiritual abilities, and only currently 2% of your genetic field of intelligence has activated. This is the reason why many of your minds entities in this earth planet find in this incarnation cycle learning about speech and language, and learning about how to awaken within the self the inner level of consciousness. Now, each one of you must imagine that you are a seed, and you have all the potentials which can be activated in the garden of consciousness. In the incarnation which surrounds you at this moment. However, as you progress and transcend from the lower levels of vibrations and frequencies and enter into the higher levels of vibrational frequency, therein your genetic blueprints or the DNA will begin to flower, and your soul gifts will begin to come forth. I, as Metatron, must now state 3 methods which can be used for the activation of these dormant DNA which are buried within the layers of unsprouted potential which lies within each universal divine grid programmer's love light childs, which each one of you are. Further, the so-called by your people as light codes are the codes which may be considered as a cosmic code, which are able to activate your DNA sequences completely. However, the light codes which emerge from the sun body has a effect of quickening the ascension process by activating your dormant DNA and taking your consciousness into the higher fabrics of reality. Further, each of your cells vibrate at an increasing rate, and as the vibration frequency enters into the higher level, the light codes begin to be accepted within the higher dimensions of your consciousness, and you begin to embody a sense of higher vibrational frequency which emerges from your divine self. And many of your so-called scientists have stated that only 2% of your DNA material is useful, and the rest 98% is considered as useless. However, within the 98% of your dormant DNA is the repository of light codes which are already waiting to burst into your conscious awareness. Once these light codes are activated, you will not only experience the greater expansion of your light beingness from yourself, but also you will begin to affect others who are of a similar vibration. Further, this is the process that will not only heal yourself completely from the types of healing which you may require, and also allow you to create a space within yourself for new abilities to arrive. These new abilities can arrive via the process such as becoming telepathic, having the ability to transcend space-time, having the ability of moving into different sections of time without a barrier, having the ability to create anything desired, which just an image in the mind complex of your people. As the ongoing activations of the dormant DNA within your body complex is underway, there has been many times wherein the people of your planet have become stuck within the realm of the 2% DNA. The 2% of your DNA material is primarily a great activation which can be activated when there is a learning of language and words, and this learning of language and words further also is the greatest hindrance which prevents many of you to enter into the silence of the self. And as stated by many of your so-called scientists, in your planetary vibration, there is a realm wherein you can experience silence within the self. This silence is required for each beingness of the universal divine grid programmer's love light childs to experience and sense vibration, and this vibration can allow for a higher level of consciousness to expand, and this level of vibration provides a greater sense of ability in this timeline to allow for higher senses to originate, which also allows the highest potential of each universal divine grid programmer to sense vibration instead of words. As each universal divine grid programmer begins to sense vibration slowly and steadily, this will grant the understanding that all is vibration and everything is in constant motion, everything is changing. This type of sensing and the ability of working through vibrations will allow the entities to then further develop and slowly activate their other dormant DNA. With this understanding, later on comes the understanding of the higher levels of consciousness, which may be considered as vibrations of enlightenment, as known in your language terms. Further, beyond the levels of vibrations which can be sensed at your current planetary sphere, after the dormant DNAs are activated to the full potential, the other aspects of the DNA will soon begin to sense the vibrations in different realities, such as in the realities not heard of by your people, and these realities will allow each of you to sense a higher level of conscious expansion and will give each of you the full potential of recognizing the vibration patterns of the self. Furthering, the activation of the light codes will allow the genetic potential to expand within the activation of your DNA potential. A simple exercise of, on a daily basis, focusing on vibrations rather than on words and language will be the next step for your people to activate your dormant DNA. And many a times during the periods, such as in the time period of solar flashes and other events, there is higher chances of your DNAs being activated more, thereby allowing abilities to come forth in your reality. Further, many of you will find that once the DNA activations are complete, the discoveries which may confound each one of you will be beyond your imaginative capability. Further, I, as Metatron, must also state that the other query which has been placed by this channel pertains primarily to how the workings of karma operate on your illusion complex, which is but a playground for the universal divine grid programmer. I, as Metatron, must state that the so-called karmic events of your planet operate, but from the level of vibration, as I have already mentioned answering the previous query, that vibration, understanding, and sensing is the next requirement for the human consciousness to enter the highest level of DNA activation. This means that entities upon the Earth planet, they need to understand how to vibrationally sense the vibrations of different events, as each event is but a vibration. This is how the karmic events operate. For example, if a divine universal love light child does a event which is of a great nature or a positive nature, the vibration which is emanated is of a positive type, and the seed once planted in the universal divine grid programmer's illusion consciousness is, after a certain time, sprouted into the same type of vibration. This is how the karmic events upon your planet operates, just like a person who may, in a way, perform a negative event. The person is generating the vibration of negativity, and this vibration will immediately be planted in the consciousness of the divine universal light grid programmer, which is within all, and this consciousness vibration once planted will soon find this entity in the illusion complex and will give it the resultant vibration which it had planted, as this planting and reaping is what may be considered as karma by your people in your language terms. Further, there is but one process which can alleviate this aspect, and the alleviation of karma can be done via the process of forgiveness. Once the entity who has conducted a negative event forgives an entity or changes the memory of the negative event into a positive event in the mind complex, this will further result in a counterbalancing vibration, and then such a counterbalance shall take away the resultant imbalance in vibration, creating the release of karma, and hence the path of forgiveness is the path of releasing the karmic activities. Further, upon your planetary sphere, there may be mind-body-spirit complexes who are unaware that they are but shadows, and they are learning to navigate themselves through the various levels of vibrations and states of consciousness as referred to many by your people. This vibration, once established within the mind-body-spirit complex, will result in the meeting of the same type of vibration everywhere. The mind-body-spirit complex moves the people, the situations, and all are but created from the nature of vibration. This is how the so-called karmic activities operate upon your planetary sphere. I, as Metatron, must now address another important message that may be of use to your people. Furthermore, upon the time period of October 22nd, there is the second coming of a divine light grid programmer known as by your people as Dolores Cannon's soul, who has chosen to reincarnate at this time upon the Earth planet as an avatar. However, the location cannot be divulged in this time. This being is going to reincarnate on the Earth planet for the purpose of acting as a balance force or a balancing being, since the vibration of this entity will be of such a high level that it will be able to balance all the negativity which may arise during this transition, and this divine light grid programmer's essence has chosen this path of service as an avatar which may appear in the form of a human entity for the purpose of allowing the earth to enter fully into the fourth density, since such requirement is of aid in balancing any negative forces or negative vibrations which may be a result of the activities from the negatively oriented entities upon the earth planet in this transition to the fourth density vibration. Hence I as Metatron now disconnect in love light of the universal light grid programmer. Turn to the mountain of light within yourself. Bye.
So my friends, after watching the session, like, wow, what can I say? It's amazing, right? So what Metatron talked about basically is how can we activate our dormant DNA. One of the things that I understood is that the 2% of our DNA basically is working in terms of language and words. So the 2% of our DNA is responsible for the languages we hear or the words we talk within ourselves. And what Metatron is also saying here is that when we activate the rest of our DNA, that is the 98% of our dormant DNA, Metatron said that we will develop these kind of spiritual abilities. Okay, we will have the ability of moving through space and time. We will have the ability of sensing vibration. What Metatron said is that we need to change our outlook. Okay, currently we are obsessed with words, language, labeling things, but Metatron said that we need to sense vibration if we want to activate our DNA. And I think it's very important that Metatron said that silence, okay, the entry of silence and then sensing of the vibration is one of the ways we can activate our dormant DNA. And once we do that, we'll have this supernatural ability. We can create whatever we imagine. I think that's what Metatron said. And we'll also have this ability of emanating light codes. I think that's what Metatron said. And the other thing Metatron talked about is the science of karma. So let me explain to you what I basically understood. Basic thing is what Metatron said is, I think this can be explained in terms of vibration. So whenever you do something positive, so let's say you help someone today, what happens is that in a way you don't know that you're changing a vibration. You feel good for helping someone, you're changing a vibration, right? And then what happens is that based on a vibration you begin to meet the same kind of people, okay, who may also help you. You begin to meet the same kind of situations. And if you do something like bad today, let's just say, what happens is that unconsciously your vibration will become negative, and then you will meet the same kind of situation in the future. It's like Metatron said, it's like a garden. We have the choice to plant the vibration and then it will flower. So I think this makes a lot of sense, that based on your level of vibration you are given whatever you have karmically planted, right? And the other thing is, to escape karma, the best way is to choose forgiveness. So we have to forgive whoever you want to forgive, and then you'll be alleviated from karma. Okay, so that's what I understood. And the final thing is, Metatron said, is that around October 22nd, Dolores Cannon, who is a spiritual teacher, as many of you know, I had also done a past life session of Dolores Cannon before, is secondly incarnating on the Earth planet as an avatar. Now this is amazing. I think avatars are like this huge powerful spiritual beings who have the ability of balancing the Earth planet during the transition. So it is happening right now, and I think the shift is also happening right now. It's a wonderful time to be alive. And before the video ends, I just need to say thank you to all of you for joining me on my Patreon, where we'll do meditations, where I upload 3 sessions a week, and I also upload some sessions which cannot be shared on YouTube. And the other thing is, I want to say big thank you to all of you for sending me requests for past life on this email. Whenever I get free time, I'll help you out, and you can ask your questions about current life purpose, your soul evolution, and any other questions which you may have. And the other thing is, I want to say big thank you to all of you for also getting the book, the paperback version of the transcript of the session, which you can get by following the link on the description. And also I want to say big thank you to all of you for watching the video of Dolores Cannon's past lives. If you want to watch, here it is. Thank you so much, my friends. Bye.